Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, members of the Cabinet, especially Ambassador Bob Lighthizer, the governors, members of the Senate, members of the House of Representatives, leaders from businesses large and small across America, and all the hardworking Americans that are here and are looking on. This is a great day for American workers and American farmers because, Mr. President, thanks to your leadership, NAFTA ends today and a new era of jobs and growth begins under the USMCA. Mr. President, as a candidate and as our president, you said we could get this economy moving again. And with the support of the members of Congress gathered here, we cut taxes for working families and businesses large and small. We rolled back regulation. You unleashed American energy. But, Mr. President, you also challenged our party and the American people to think in new ways about international trade. And the American economy is booming. As you just said, more than 7 million jobs created, unemployment at a 50-year low. And I know what means most to you is that wages are rising across the board, but they're rising most rapidly for hard-working, blue-collar Americans. Mr. President, today you'll sign the largest trade deal in American history. And today, thanks to your leadership, we'll leave behind the failed policies of the past and have a new trade deal that'll benefit every American. As a son of the heartland, let me say, I couldn't be more grateful for your leadership. I saw firsthand how NAFTA hollowed out communities, caused thousands of factories to close, shuttered businesses in communities across my state and across the heartland. We saw thousands of jobs go south of the border. Over 1 million Americans lost their jobs. But thanks to your leadership, Mr. President, those days are over. Now, there are so many to thank here, members of the House and Senate who stood with us every step of the way that you've acknowledged. You've done a great service for the American people. Let me also thank the governors here and governors around the country and mayors around the country who stood with this president, believing that we could do better as well. And, Mr. President, you directed me to travel across this country over the past year. I traveled to nearly 20 states. I met with farmers and workers and owners of businesses large and small. And today I want to give credit to them as well, to Americans like Jay and Sue Blanchard of Safety Signs in Lakeville, Minnesota, to Don Walker of Magna International in Lancaster, Ohio, and Doug Freitas of Freitas Farms in California. It was Americans like them who let their voice be heard and supported your leadership, and Congress acted to approve the USMCA. This day is theirs as well. But finally, Mr. President, on their behalf, I want to say thank you to you for having the vision long ago that America could do better than NAFTA. I want to thank you, Mr. President, on behalf of all of the American people for simply keeping your word, for fighting for the forgotten men and women of this country every day as you do, for driving a hard bargain, for never letting up until we got a deal that put American jobs and American workers first. So we're here today because of great allies in Congress and state houses and city halls. We're here today because the American people stepped forward and demanded better. But I want to say with a grateful heart that we're here mostly because we have a president who will always put America first. Thank you, Mr. President, and congratulations.